Welcome to Summoner's Rift. SK Telecom versus CJ, one of the loudest fan cheers I think I've heard in this studio in a long time.
Yeah, we're
CJ fans.
We're packed tonight, of course, both of these teams, some of the most popular in Korea, so a lot of dedicated fans here this evening to cheer on these teams in what has become a very close series.
Yeah. You know, even though KT got that convincing win in game 1, I'm more afraid for SK Telecom in this match than I was for the other one.
Well, I think that Trick he looks like he's a pretty solid jungler even as a rookie. He did some nice stuff in the last game. And when we talk about CJ, they already have a lot of synergy as a team. They're old veterans.
Yeah.
KT made a lot of roster changes.
Faker's much better than Nagne. That was a big factor there.
Coco is definitely much more of a threat than Nagne is in the mid lane. I'm excited to see Shy's rise for the first time in a while. And
now all we need him to do is pick up the Jax.
The Jax is back. If we look at Shy's all-time rise record, he's 5-1 all-time. It was banned so many times against him, though.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Shy is a guy that's been playing League of Legends for basically since he could get his hands on it for the first time. He was one of those guys that was playing on the NA server before Korea had one, way back in the very early days of the Korean scene.
I don't think that's true.
Really?
He was only
I thought
playing
he went that far back.
I think he was only playing for 6 months before the Season 2 World Championship, so the Korean server would have been available by that time.
Oh, I guess I'm totally wrong then. I thought he was older school than that.
Nope. It's actually pretty amazing that he managed to make the World Finals after such a small amount of time playing.
Well, the more you know.
Well, in this matchup here, we do expect Kog'Maw to take a pretty healthy advantage thanks to the range and the poke. So we'll see how well Space can do here. This is one of the main issues that playing Corki has these days, and Corki teams like SK Telecom are facing. Faker actually just going to go up and gold card Coco.
Why not? Ooh, well, that's why not.
Yeah, he doesn't have a defensive summoner here. Coco does have cleanse in case he needs it, and going for the ring first instead of the flask, so taking the worst end of that trade for sure.
Yep. Able to stay in lane anyway. For now. Bang & Wolf just pushing up this bot lane. And I really wonder what sort of impact Trick is going to have this game. Because he's certainly not going to have the same sort of pressure that he did on Rek'Sai. Bengi coming in, who gets Rift Scuttler. Bengi just pushing him away. SKT gets it.
While Wolf was there, have to be worried about Faker with the Ghost getting to you very quickly in the river. So smart of Trick just to back off in that situation. No need to overcommit, but this means that SK Telecom, they've got a lot of wards here, and what's going to happen too when Trick doesn't have the same ability to gank that he had the last time? Remember how they got ahead was a lot of good ganks from Trick, blowing Faker's summoner spells, and then forcing him back.
Right.
Or getting that first blood, and Nunu is here just not going to have that same effect, really. Although they are picking him right now, they're going to try. He's low, Ghost will get him out.
Faker is really low.
Yeah, Ghost will get him out.
That ward taken by the Raptor buff. Faker has to recall.
Yep, so just some counter jungling for Trick, and Faker going to lose some minions on this turret, but has a chance to get a second Doran's Ring here. Not actually going for an upgraded boot. This one's
regular boot.
Regular boot.
Just a plain old boot.
I don't see a second one, so it's just boot.
Nope, it's just gonna hop on 1 foot down the lane.
It's not boots of speed, it's boot of speed.
Boot of speed.
There's definitely not a second boot.
Maybe the two boots are just right next to each other and you just can't see one because it's behind the other.
Maybe you can see a little bit of it. Well, Baron going to get quote-unquote ganked.
Oh no, a fearsome gank. Oh, Trick getting fearsomely low. Marin.
They're trying to make them commit to this. Bengi's
here. Oh boy, Marin really, really low. Needs to be careful. First blood taken by Shy anyway. Bengi on the run. Whoops.
Yeah, and Marin wasn't
whoops.
6 right there to regen. Giving Shy the early kill is disastrous. Miscommunication because they didn't have Rek'Sai there in time. It was a good idea. It's just it was misplayed by SK Telecom.
Wow, and that's going to burn the teleport for Marin as well, too. So Shy, with his teleport coming up soon, is going to have a pretty decent TP advantage window for CJ for a little while.
And Marin, oh, we didn't even mention this. He's playing Smite top.
Oh,
Maokai.
wow,
I
you're right.
actually did not even realize that until
window.
right now. Which I was thinking about, well, why didn't he flash right there? But there was the answer. And that means that he may... I'll be curious to see what exactly he's doing here. Obviously going to be going for the Cinder Hulk eventually. Now, we haven't seen much of this recently, and the Skirmisher Sabers nerfs make this an even more interesting matchup because he's going to be able to significantly cut down Ryze's damage, but not anywhere near the degree that he used to.
Yeah. Huh. Some really interesting picks on both sides this game, between the Nunu and the Mundo, but he is able to actually get in and take a bit of jungle, and I suppose it's an interesting response to the Nunu, right? Because the Nunu wants to be in your jungle taking your camps, and look, here we have Marin a little bit down in lane, but or not even down in lane, down a kill, but able to steal multiple camps from Trick.
Yeah, absolutely. And with that Mundo ultimate too, you could just go in there, take some camps, get some vision, of course using that smite to actually, especially if you're on the red side and you're invading blue side's blue jungle, you can get the vision down with the Wolf Spirit. Here we go.
Oh, Faker coming down, 3v3, space already a little bit low, gets knocked up. There they go into him, exhaust used. Can they finish him off? Faker trying, there's one last auto, and he does it. Faker gets out just fine, and nice knockback from Wolf. Will it save Faker? Looks like it will. Bang on the run, Shy catches him with the Rune Prison. Bang, doesn't look like he's gonna get to escape out of this one. Another kill for Shy, and that's really dangerous. Faker caught by Coco, now flashed over the wall, but here comes the blue buff. Trick comes in as well too, and Coco barely gets him. The Ghost keeps Faker alive, which is very ironic to say now that I think about it, but it worked.
If Bang had not used Valk, he used Valk unnecessarily under that turret because Faker had a last auto attack that actually killed Space.
Yeah.
That would have been a very different situation. Instead, they give Shy's Rise another kill. Now, of course, people will start to panic about this. What happens when this Rise keeps getting kills? He becomes very scary in the late game. But when we think about how CJ has to fight in the late game, how is CJ ever going to engage onto SK Telecom? They don't really have a good way to do that.
Yeah.
And so he can be kited out with some efficiency by SKT.
Not to mention, theoretically, this Mundo should be able to tangle with him for a while in a team fight at least.
Yeah, and SKT is going to respond here with a Dragon. They were able to get back into lane slightly faster, and they also took away the blue buff from Azir. So even though they traded 1-for-1, objectives definitely go over to SKT. They played the rest of them. Oh,
ooh, that was close.
okay. Risky.
It worked.
It did work. Faker gets a kill, gets his Boots of Lucidity, but again, has to use both summoners on that gank. But still, more Boot of Lucidity, more taken on the map by SKT. So CJ turned it around nicely. They're hoping that all this money is just going to increase the speed of Ryze's scaling.
Well, I'm surprised at just how much Marin has been able to steal away from Trick this game. He's really kind of making that top jungle on the CJ side his own, and then making it back to lane. He really hasn't gotten down in CS at all, and some of his CS has been more valuable.
Yep, well, Trick's not going to
Got to be careful there. Coco coming over, Faker playing a little bit unsafely. Yep, Faker in a lot of trouble. Rek'Sai trying to come in, but it's going to be too late. Faker really needs to be a bit more careful.
Well, I mean, the Chilling Smite onto the Nunu, combined with that Snowball, I mean, those slows may not stack any longer, but you can chain them together for some significant downtime. And when you have no summoners, maybe you don't make a play like that.
Maybe you don't. So Faker giving up kind of a silly kill. Luckily for him, it goes on to Trick. If that had gone on to Coco, that would have been a little bit more nerve-wracking for SK Telecom.
All right, home guard done. So Faker just wants to get back into lane, push the wave as frequently as possible. Coco will not be going for an early home guard himself. So he's trying to open it up in terms of the wave clear so that he can actually use his destiny where he will be going.
Oh, and he's going to use it right away. They're going to try to kill a kill onto Shy and top. Nice knock up there. Shy's not making it out of this one. And there's a kill for Bengi. And so if they can start to punish this Rise, that'll be pretty nice.
And look at what this early home guard does on TF. Get back to lane, throw the wild cards, move out, get the kill, dive, immediately back to base, buy something else, get back, and you lose no minions or XP to your turret.
Pretty amazing, actually. That's
Yeah,
a lot of
so
stuff to do.
It doesn't add the damage, but as long as you're working well in conjunction with your jungler, you'll have sufficient damage to get the kills, to make the plays. And Marin here just running rampant in the blue side jungle. There have not been enough wards, I think, from CJ over here because it seems like Marin's just constantly clearing it.
It's something you just don't expect, you know?
Bengi's here. He's waiting for the counter gank, actually.
Oh. Uh-oh. Oh, Marin, no ult. That's a bit of a close call there.
I mean, yeah, no ult. Still going to do a lot of damage with those cleavers.
I guess so, man. Jeez.
He can see him with the ward.
Yeah.
Nice trade there from Marin. Rek'Sai was there to back him up, should need be.
Yep. And Manlife just clearing that ward and Tribrush, I guess. Bengi looking to make another play. He's going to come in onto Shy, but a little bit late. Shy backed off just in time.
Yeah, Marin here, he went for the early Merc Tread, so he has the tenacity to cut down on a lot of the Rune Prison spam.
Yeah.
Which is why he wasn't worried about playing around with Shy when he still had, when he did not rather have his ultimate up.
And with those Rise nerfs that came in a little while ago too, those Rune Prisons lasting a little bit shorter anyway early on.
Well, yeah, especially since you're not even maxing W anymore.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
can't. You have to max the Q. So that big, constant CC rise doesn't come in until much later in the game.
Very true. Bang farming pretty equally. Oh, and they may have caught Wolf. Yeah, they did with the Emperor's Divide. Bengi coming in, trying to make a play here. Wolf pops his ultimate, flashes into the blue buff pit. Bengi on the run as well, too.
Yeah, Faker's coming up, though, so they can't pursue this too hard.
Yeah, getting the flash and the ult out of Wolf, though, is pretty nice.
Yes, it is. Just more deep wards. Trick has been doing a very good job of keeping that side of the jungle warded and under control this entire game. Meanwhile, top side much more in the favor of SK Telecom. So Sheen finally done for Faker. He's getting a little bit more damage now. But
Yeah,
Coco,
the wave clear's getting better too, which is nice.
yeah, Coco's still firmly in control of this mid lane.
Oh, Marin. Ahead on CS.
Interestingly, Trick doesn't have that much CS when compared to this Rek'Sai.
He's been trying to make a lot of plays in lane, which is a bit odd to see from a Nunu. But yeah, you're right. He hasn't been farming, and I suppose when he goes to his top jungle, he oftentimes finds that the camps are missing.
Yeah, it's been a lot of denial, I think. You're absolutely right there, Doa, from the Mundo. There looks like they will actually get their blue buff this time around. And they'll still have time to set up for the Dragon, but nobody to defend Vision as SKT starts to ward up that area in advance. So this game is very, very powerful late if CJ can actually get into a team fight, because they have the Nunu, the Blood Boil with both the Azir and the Kog'Maw terrifying. There's no doubt that this is an epic amount of damage coming out of CJ Entus, but will they ever be able to get in range is the question, and as long as SKT can continue to stack these dragons and get to the dragon first, they can just kite.
Well, they've got all the vision they really need to do that so far. Would have been the blue buff pit. Yeah, Marin may just be able to take the top turret right there, and that would really free him up to be more active when this dragon comes up. He's got his teleport anyway, so he's fine.
Yep, and he's already got the MR too. That's going to be the real kicker against CJ, who is incredibly magic damage heavy team.
Yeah. All right. CJ trying to get to this dragon. They really could use it. Spawns now. Bengi backing off into the blue buff pit. Looks like they may just try to hand that over to Faker first for anything. Faker not with full health here.
No, he has been poked out. Kind of the story of this game.
Yeah.
Twisted Fate not having an easy time against the Azir.
CJ not going for that dragon, though. They're going to go back for the turret. And definitely going to do a lot more damage to it.
Oh, he has the gold card locked in. He just wants Azir to stop throwing sand soldiers at his tower. But,
Doesn't seem like it'd be effective when you think about it. But it works. Oh, Trick takes Rift Scuttler. That's nice for CJ.
Yeah, so SKT, they don't have the priority on this objective. We do see both Trinity Forces done for Kog'Maw and for Corki, identical CS for the AD carries, and CJ should be able to play this one patiently as long as they have that vision. Faker's going to have to recall right now. Marin chunked out a bit in this top side, went for a little bit of a jungling mission, but he is way up in CS. And remember too, not all CS is created equal. He's getting a bunch of additional money thanks to his machete, and they're going to go for it.
Yep, Trick is right there too. They might try to steal it. Mad Life trying to harass on the side. Space is going to be able to poke SKT.
I mean, Coco's
Teleport coming in for CJ. Yeah, Coco needs to get there. Trick comes in, tries to steal it. Bengi gets it anyway. There goes Trick, and SKT deciding not to chase it. They don't need to.
They saw Coco coming around the side on the Azir, so he's going to go right into the mid lane and push that up.
Shortest teleport ever.
So if Coco could get a flank right there, maybe, just maybe, that would work out very well for SKT. Trick gets a little trigger happy and goes into the pit with the flash.
I'll try to be a hero there, but SKT denying that Dragon Steal.
Well, I'm starting to get worried about how unkillable Marin is going to be, even though, and I'm saying that against a high damage composition of Kog'Maw, Ryze, and Azir, but he is just getting mountains of money right now.
Yeah. I mean, it says 157 CS, but with the amount of jungle camps he's taken, it's probably pushing like the equivalent of like 180 CS or something like that.
Oh yes, definitely.
Not
Absolutely.
more.
So that is.
Yep. See, there's another 97 gold right there.
Yeah, huge amounts of money. The Gromp buff going to be doing work against champions like Kog'Maw too.
Yep.
And the magic resist is very efficient against Kog'Maw because a lot of that percent HP damage before he gets that Blade of the Rune King is magic.
Sure enough, well, they're trying to catch Coco here. Coco, can he get away? There's a flash. Emperor's Divide pushes Bengi under turret.
Oh,
Faker barely misses him.
It.
Yeah, very low. Faker. Wow, goes for the flash gold card. He's got the kill. Trick trying to chase, but no flash. Faker, can he get away? Pops that Ghost. Meanwhile, Space and Mad Life caught now. Oh no, the Faker distraction is real. Here comes Shy though. Rune Prison, that's going to be at least a kill for CJ. Now turning on SKT. They may have overextended. I think they really overextended. Bang, can't quite kill Mad Life, but Trick can certainly take out Bang. There's a flash. Can he get there in time? Wolf trying to get there. Snowball!
Oh!
Got him! And Wolf! They're going to kill him too. Space gets one, and so 1 for 4. Man, Marin taking that turret nearly,
These fights have been so very close.
Jeez.
I mean, Bang definitely had a chance to live there. They're going to take at least 1 tower in the mid lane, probably 2, because they have a Kog'Maw with the... Oh, nope, they're going to back off immediately. Now, Marin didn't have his teleport ready.
Yeah.
Of course, neither did Shy, but they dove so deep. And if we take a look at this, I mean, they get the knockup. Faker sees that Nunu's coming in behind him, and he decides, well, if I'm going to die, I'm going to go out like a hero, flash forward, get the final kill. But then everyone starts going aggressive. I wish we could see this play right here. Wolf going to knock up Space, and they get the exhaust early onto him, but Mad Life kites it back. Great Glacial Fissure to stick everybody into the choke point.
Summoner heal
and
coming
Trick
in
just
too.
turns around, manages to get back, and that last auto doesn't kill Mad Life. Bang here with the Valk, then the flash, and Trick decides, I've got Blood Boil. Goodbye.
Boom. Deadly Ball of Snow.
So, with that though, CJ may have just pulled ahead in terms of kills, but they're still behind in terms of gold. Before that fight, SKT was looking at about a 2,000 gold deficit, or advantage rather. Now they're up by just about 1,000. And they still have those dragon stacks, but that is the thing that's really going to keep them in this game. That is what they have to focus on. They cannot give up dragons. But if they can just keep holding on to the dragons, they may be able to pull it out. They also have a very good 1-3-1 split push with Mundo and the Twisted Fate.
And again, it's like you mentioned too. I mean, the only reason CJ is winning these fights is because SKT is pushing too far in, you know?
If SKT just kites, they will have an edge, but this is going to be a bottom tower. Nearly taken by CJ.
They'll probably get it before too long.
And we talk a lot about, I suppose the other side of the coin here, Doa, is that while we're talking about how SKT has this engage advantage, they have a lot of disengage, they can kite, they can live through what CJ's putting out. they don't have the highest amount of damage in the late game. They got a Mundo and a TF and a Corki. This is not going to be anywhere near as threatening as CJ's.
Oh yeah, of course. CJ is going to have tons more damage. Wow, Bengi manages to get his blue in. Now because of that, SKT denies both blues because Marin actually got the other one.
And here comes the,
Oh, they're getting out of there. They're going to go on to Shy. They see an opportunity there. Oh, Madlife comes in with another great Glacial Fissure right at the end. May end up paying for it, but saves Shy, and that is pretty important. Wow.
Here comes
Gets
Coco.
the stun.
Faker's going to die.
Faker's just dead. There's nothing he can do. Wolf gets a knockup, but I don't think Faker can get away from here. Too much damage coming in. They're at least going to get Wolf. Marin trying to slow people with the cleaver, but Faker, one more ult. Yep, that'll do it. Wow. SK Telecom, it just keeps overextending.
Yeah, they do. Faker looks like he's getting pretty pissed off, actually.
Oh, I would be too, man. I mean, they could have this game in a much
okay.
better position.
Okay, I mean, we can say that, and the Baron is going down in favor of CJ, but they did get 2 turrets off of that, but no one really here. Marin has his ultimate. He's about back up, but this is going to be a Baron for CJ.
Yeah, I mean, Marin trying to distract people, but how much can he really do? A lot of low health members for CJ, though. Marin's ult has almost ran out. I think it's another occasion of CJ or SKT just pushing too far. It's a Mary Marin chase. Shy, chilling smited, and they're going to try to get a kill there.
He's going to try. Shy's still a little bit weak in this
wow,
game.
look at Marin.
Holy cow.
Jeez.
Marin kills Trick.
No kidding. Makes it out. Are you kidding me?
Marin's still here. He's going to die eventually.
You could have just backed away, Marin.
All right.
Could have just backed away. Can still back away. Oh, no, ultimate from Ryze, and that's it.
But SKT, again, they get onto a tower, so they have a Baron, but they actually get 3 turrets for this. Okay, so they gave up, I mean, that was a lot that just happened right there. So they gave up some kills, but they actually took 3 turrets.
They're going to get the 3rd dragon,
and
out of this.
If they can get the 3rd dragon, Marin has 22 seconds. They're going to try and burn this down.
Yeah, they'll get it.
They're going to get it. There's not enough there. They don't have a jungler there to actually prevent this from being stolen. So 3 dragons for SKT. As CJ gets the better end of some of these fights, but they lose a lot of turrets. And yes, they get the Baron, but are they going to be able to actually get towers off of this, as the gold is pretty much identical? They're going to try and take a red buff and then transition into a tier 1 and top. It looks like SKT's not going to have a chance to defend this. Marin is really tanky, though.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, and he's going to be getting even more tanky soon. Looking for that Randuin's, it looks like. Well, Coco takes the turret here, and CJ with that Baron. We'll see how much they can get out of it. They might just be able to equalize.
Faker in the mid lane right now, just trying to push as best he can. Are they going to give up the tier 2? They don't have great wave clear. Here we go.
They don't want to. Coming in, Faker trying to come from behind. Actually just landing underneath the turret there. So they saved their turret for the moment anyway.
So much poke damage from the Kog'Maw.
Oh, wow, they're just going to recall. No, they won't. Gold card onto Trick. Trick may be in a little bit of trouble. He's pretty tanky, though.
Trick playing that a little bit fast and loose. He's going to be able to heal with the Consume, but still not ideal. Bengi coming back in with the Void Rush. Yeah. CJ may have run out of gas here after Trick tried to zone behind the tower.
I guess so.
Well, you know, CJ is a team that, when they're on, what's frustrating about them is that when they're off, they are off. But when they are on, we remember this team nearly went to MSI. They took SKT to the brink in the spring. It basically took that big hero play from Marin's Maokai in the mid lane to actually make an opening for SKT. But
well, yeah. I mean, there was also, and after that, Bengi's Rek'Sai, too.
Yeah, Bengi had to come into that series and kind of win 3 games in a row.
Very memorable.
Obviously, the pressure not so high right now. It really is kind of irrelevant whether SKT wins or loses this game. It's much more relevant for CJ.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, SKT has a chance to get plenty more wins, and I mean, they're already in the finals anyway of this season, so not a whole lot of worries for SK Telecom. But still, we want to keep that streak alive. Looks like CJ won't be able to keep this bottom turret alive, but SKT may lose their top tier too.
Yeah, the Baron is almost stalled out here. Marin doing some work in the split pushing department. How much longer do we have on this? Oh, the Baron's gone. It's no, it's not. We haven't
nearly.
clicked on the CJ members yet.
Should be gone soon.
Well, I think if you're SKT and they only get one tier 1 off of a Baron and you took 4 turrets during that same period and a dragon, you're going to be pretty happy with that trade. Obviously, it's relatively even, but in the end, just out of that kind of disaster, for them to pull so many objectives back into the game is rather remarkable.
Now, Baron is gone. It's just kind of bugged where we see.
Yeah, I was curious about that, actually.
Yeah. Baron definitely down on CJ despite the rotating purple thingies.
And the Dragons, again, SKT. They've got a couple minutes, but they're going to get a fast track at a possible 5th Dragon because they got it so early.
Right, 3-0 right now, so CJ's got a long, long way to go if they want to ever contest in Dragons.
So they have to fight for these coming up. With all those turrets down, though, it does become much harder to push forward and get that advantage because they lack a tier 2 in the mid lane and in the top lane. So they have to go pretty darn far to get up into the range to contest that dragon. And in the meantime, it makes deep warding a lot easier for SKT.
Yep.
But CJ must contest this next dragon.
Well, it's a minute 30. Nearly identical timings for both Baron and Dragon.
This is a very early 5th Dragon, possibly. We're going to be looking at, what, 34.5 minutes or so? If SKT takes it immediately.
Yeah. Faker on the run here. Not having to burn the Ghost just yet. Doing a pretty good job of dodging those ultimates from space.
Well, he is pretty speedy with these level 2 boots, so it's not going to be as much of an issue to do so.
Yeah, and you can see SKT just, they really want to push, but CJ's pushing back a bit harder right now. They need to get this dragon. Marin can teleport down anytime he wants.
Yeah, Bengi actually just pushing forward and then using the Void Rush to get back to his team.
Yeah.
And Marin splitting into the top side. Space is going to get the Scuttle Crab, and CJ has some time to push up the bottom lane, but not a whole lot.
So will SK Telecom, yeah, they can just threaten Baron. It doesn't really matter too much if CJ gets this first dragon, if SK Telecom gets dragon in exchange, or Baron in exchange for it.
I think SKT would much rather have the dragon.
Of course, but
if it goes this way,
you really don't want to fight it straight up at this point.
Bengi can't really recall right now either because he's still waiting on that Void Rush to be back.
Yeah, well, Marin's got that lane pushed all the way up to the inhibitor turret now.
Okay, so CJ just wants to commit to a tier 2.
Okay.
Nice play. They've got so much tower damage.
Yeah, and they'll
Great
get it
Siege.
pretty easily.
Wow. CJ's composition is so good for Siege. Blood-boiled Kog'Maw Azir is just ridiculous how fast they can kill those turrets.
Wow, Marin going in onto Shy, going in and using that challenging smite. Pushing in, Marin pops the ultimate. Shy could be in a little bit of trouble here. That damage forces the flash from Shy.
Chunks him out too, so he's going to have to go back to base. That means SKT has a little more time to get him. Okay.
Nope.
They see space at this objective.
Yeah, is Faker going to go down there though?
Nope, they're going to go for the Baron.
Yep, they are, but Space already on his way up there. I don't know if SKT can do this. They're going to have to try to fight it. Faker goes into the gold card onto Madlife. Madlife, are they going to get him before the ult? They did. They got him before Madlife could ult, and CJ has been so reliant on that in fights this game so far. Marin wading into the enemy team right now. No ultimate. Shy gets trapped completely by SK Telecom. Trick gets in with a big ultimate from Nunu. That's going to be a big problem for SKT, but will it be enough? Space doing so much damage along with Coco, but there's a double kill from Bengi. Bengi.
Heal, Summoner Heal will save him.
He made it out.
Okay, that was such a huge fight. They baited it very nicely. Faker actually is going to have to just skip his recall right there. They don't have enough HP, but now Marin got his ultimate back up.
They might be able to do this. Marin waiting in. Bang, Faker. Hyper's Divide. They're going to try and take out Faker, but Bang gets a kill anyway. Space in a lot of trouble, and there's a double kill for Bang. Rek'Sai back in action again, and they could potentially go for this Baron.
Absolutely huge. There's no TP on Shy right now. Faker pushing up the mid lane. Bengi is back to full HP with the Void Rush. So they come in. Marin just waited there. He knew he didn't have much time left on his ultimate. Waited, popped it, got the HP back to make the play. And SK Telecom coming back. They're going to get a Baron this time around. And what a great play. They didn't overcommit to taking the Dragon. They played around with the vision. They set up the Baron beautifully, and Madlife basically just had to face check that.
Yeah.
I mean, you could yell at Madlife here, but he did the safest thing. He tries to pop the Winter's Bite. Remember, there's not a great way for them to check that, honestly, especially when Faker could just pop out of a brush with a gold card flash.
Oh, and Shy's engaged is just totally derailed by that, too.
Basically, it was also a bad teleport by Shy. There were two factors to that for CJ, and SKT was able to isolate him and kill him. And at that point, there's really not so much they can do. And this is the problem with CJ Entus' composition. When they don't have that engage, it just sort of falls apart at some critical moments.
The fights have still been so close every single time. I mean, there were about 3 members of SKT near death.
Yeah, it's a very exciting game.
Very exciting.
I mean, there have been like a lot of sort of facepalm moments in this game too, where people are overextending or misplays are being made. But
hey, but that makes it exciting. So
that Baron setup from SKT was beautiful.
Gotta be careful. There's a Kog'Maw in that rush. Oh, not anymore. And SKT jumping out to a 5,000 gold lead. It's at the point in the game where it doesn't matter as much, and like we mentioned before, CJ's team is going to be much higher damage in the late game.
Yeah, I was wondering, you know, Doa, why was Marin's Mundo banned the other day? And I think we're seeing why.
Well, it certainly seems to handle this Rise. I mean, if you can handle Shy's Rise, it's a bit of a surprise. But guys, he supplies
the cleavers.
He supplies CJ with their demise.
I tried to break up your rhyming, but I failed.
Yeah.
All right, so still no Thornmail for Marin. Has a GA.
Well, that's a Mundo that's going to be pretty hard to kill, and then kill again.
Yeah. 3,800 HP.
Yeah, like you do.
Like you do. That challenging smite doing so much work too.
Yeah.
Even though it was nerfed, still makes sense right here.
Still enough, and enough is good enough. Oh. Marin just pops, not the ult. He doesn't even need it. SKT needs to be a little bit careful here. I foresee a big Coco play if he ever gets down there.
Or a big Faker play. So
perhaps.
Like Faker and Coco see each other, bang.
Perhaps.
Getting some damage down onto that tower with this Baron buff.
Cannon Minion doing work.
Not making a whole lot of headway though. CJ clearing this out pretty effectively with the Kog'Maw.
Yeah, but Dragon up in 2 minutes now. If they can keep the pressure on for just a bit longer, and they've got maybe another 10 seconds of Baron buff, they can fall back slowly, take the jungle, and get ready for this Dragon potentially.
Yeah, they just didn't get very much though. They tried the 1-3-1, but there's enough wave clear from CJ that they couldn't really get much of anything off of that Baron. Sure, they got a gold lead off of the Baron in the fight afterwards, but that's about it. And they need a gold lead to match the damage of CJ.
And I feel like the biggest thing SK got out of that Baron was not having CJ with the Baron.
Yes.
Which is a big deal. I mean, if CJ had the Baron.
You might be confused because Space actually looks like he has a Baron buff right now, but he doesn't.
Nope. No, CJ, they just have the Baron visual buff. No. Trick doesn't. Coco's got it though. It's because is it because he hasn't died yet?
I believe that is the case.
I thought they did die though. In that last fight. Wasn't that post Baron?
Shy and Madlife died.
They got space too, didn't they? Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what's up with
Who
this
knows?
bug. Yeah, Madlife definitely died, so he still has the buff. Well, back to Dragon setup time. Looking good for SKT. They've got Wolf on the way.
They've got a lot of vision too. If there's as dangerous as they can make it for CJ, the better. The more dangerous, the better.
Well, one thing that's interesting is if we take a look at Bengi's build, he's gone for an Infinity Edge. Interestingly, CJ does not have any armor. So without the armor, this Corki actually is going to do a large amount of damage compared to what we might normally see from a Corki.
here
And
comes Dragon.
he's building into magic resist right now, which is very smart.
Yep, and there's a Dragon going down very quickly for SK Telecom. They're going to get it, and that's going to put them on that 5 Dragon pressure. No contest from CJ. Really well played by SKT out of that Baron buff.
Their shot calling, I think, was really set up well here. They took their advantages. They knew, if we just look at the wave control from SK Telecom in this game, Marin's been able to keep Shy occupied. And then when it's too dangerous for someone else to go and prep waves, they just have Bengi go do it deep in enemy territory, and then he just ults right back into his own side of the map.
Yeah.
So it's been very intriguing to watch them set up for some of these vision plays because they've been creative in how they're executing.
Well, Marin and Faker both 3,000 gold ahead of their lane opponents here at this point. Nice little lead. Marin's got Thornmail now.
Marin's also about to pass the Flame Horizon.
Yes, he is.
He's maxed out in terms of really what he's going to be able to do here, except for be awesome and buy a Sorcerer's Elixir so that Kog'Maw takes true damage from his Thornmail.
True. I mean, Iron Elixir is fun because it makes you huge, but it's better to make Kog'Maw take true damage when he hits you. I guess.
No, it probably isn't, but I'd like to think so.
Oh, I think it's great. Go for it, man. Oh, goodbye, Azir turret.
Not sure about the use of the Azir turret right there. Maybe a bit more useful to hold on to that for a time.
Okay.
You want to push forward for the Baron because now you basically, without the Azir turret now, you can't keep the wave in the mid lane at tier 1 while you want to actually try and deal with this Baron that might be coming through in 35 seconds.
Yeah, and we saw Faker use his ultimate to go to top lane just to push that wave all the way up to the inhibitor turret so they could set up for this Baron more comfortably.
Yeah, his ult's on a very short cooldown too.
Exactly.
So it's not that big of a concern. It will be up probably about 20 to 30 seconds after the Baron is.
Well, yeah, it was smart. You can't do that Baron if you're being pushed up in top lane. Marin still has that teleport. May want to start heading towards Baron, though, if he doesn't want to have to use it. Oh, he's just going to recall. Okay.
Bang getting caught out by Trick,
Ooh,
actually.
Yeah. Trick looking for an opportunity. Certainly has not had a bad day. Yep, that's right. Marin coming in from behind in space in a lot of trouble. Wolf comes in for the knockup, and here we go. Marin all over the CJ team right now, and SKT coming in as well. Bang, safe in the back. Faker, safe in the back as well. 2 kills already. The bot lane is gone, and there it is. Trick knocked up as he tries to get away. Barely gets to ult before he's down. And SKT, whoa, they took a lot of damage from Shy, though. They need to be careful. Coco could turn this around. Man, Shy did a ton there.
Yeah, and they kill Wolf, but the critical members for doing this Baron are still up 3 for 1 at the end. SK Telecom saw that moment of weakness, and they were able to strike. They have to get back, though.
I don't think they can do Baron, though. Shy will just wreck them.
Shy really isn't that tanky, though. He doesn't have any armor to deal with Bang.
I guess, but I feel like if you get in the Baron pit, Coco and Shy are going to completely destroy you with AoE before you can really react.
Well, we're going to find out, probably.
I guess we will. A lot of people have gotten their health back, though. So it's not that same situation it was a moment ago. But here we go, Shy, they're going to try it out. Faker pops that ultimate anyway. Empress Vibe pushes Marin back in there. Bang trying to get away, but Shy's all over him. Here comes Faker. Can he save his AD carry? Looks like he can. Bang barely living. He had to have like less than 50 health. Mad Life is back, but more like Sad Life.
Yeah, and they're chased off of the Baron. Now they don't have the gate, they don't have TP, and they don't have Void Rush, so Marin going to have to stay in this mid lane right now. CJ can still burn down that Baron very quickly, but it would be a risk, to say the least.
Yeah, and Bang's already heading back towards it, so CJ's not going to get a chance to do this one. Shy's still down for 30 seconds, so SKT can keep threatening this and maybe pick up another kill or 2.
Yeah,
they're
just
going
to
for
go
it.
for it, actually. Okay,
all right.
Their AD carry's not there. Marin
Not
doesn't
yet.
have his ultimate.
He's almost there, though.
Yeah, they can't really do this.
Shy is such a big part of CJ's damage, though. Yeah, they're not going to do it. Yep. Okay.
Don't know about re-engaging right there when you don't necessarily have that ultimate available. You can see Faker getting close to that 6th item, going for a Luton's Echo.
Oh, they're in trouble. Their
I would
inhibitor
assume.
might just get taken out here. CJ pushing ahead. I guess they're not quite as close as I thought they were. They can turn onto this Baron. They force some recalls. CJ with a quick turnaround. Have they found an opportunity? Bengi's going to need.
So fast. If they see Faker, they're going to start it 100%. They have Consume. They have Blood Boil. This Baron is rapidly disappearing.
Faker can ult, but he can only get halfway there. Zoning out Bengi. Can Bengi possibly get in? No, he doesn't get in soon enough. Here comes Wolf, though. Marin and Bang, but they need Faker. They need damage. Bengi, what can he do? Not much right now. And CJ just backing away. Faker is there, but he needs to be careful that he doesn't get caught.
And that was very smart of CJ. Back away from the Baron. If they tried to engage onto SKT, SKT would have kited them forever. Now CJ with the Baron. Remember, they've got the siege composition. This is exactly what they need. But 5th Dragon's going to be up in 30 seconds.
Yeah, but
Holy cow.
will SKT get a chance to take this, though? Because if CJ just bulldozes down the mid lane, they may be giving up an inhibitor in exchange for 5th Dragon. Is that worth it?
Yeah, it's risky. They could give up their whole base for 5th Dragon with how fast this CJ Entus team can break down their turrets.
Very true. So is there any way SK Telecom can fight this?
I mean, there is, if CJ commits to fighting them at the Dragon.
Banshee's vote for Shy.
If CJ's smart, they're just going to stand in the mid lane.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they're doing right now. So far, anyway. Ward wars for the moment. Dragon is up. SK Telecom moves towards it. CJ follows. They're feeling a bit intimidated by this. That 5th Dragon, certainly better for team fights at least than the Baron buff.
CJ doesn't have the good engage, though. That's the thing. And there's a Scuttle Crab, a speed shrine there to help them out.
That's
Dragon
right.
is life. Wolf is looking for the
They
flank.
started it. They started it. SKT going for it. CJ, it's now or never.
There's
They've
a
got
pink
that
ward in
Baron
that
buff.
rush. They don't
Wolf
know Wolf
coming
is
from
there.
the side. Wolf coming from the side. He's trying to come from behind. Coco goes in. He gets in. He knocks Mad Life out. Dragon taken by SK Telecom. A 3-man knockup from Wolf and SKT. All over CJ. Shy doing a lot of damage, though. And it looks like SKT just barely has enough, I think.
No, they don't.
Bang is low. No, CJ turns it. There's the double kill. Marin is the only one left. And that's it. It's over. CJ should be able to win the game. And so, as the season draws to a close, CJ will take their first best of 3 off of SK Telecom.
Oh,
Marin
man.
is huge. Can he
has
be the
to
hero?
Be an absolute hero.
He
here.
was
I
the
don't
hero
think
before.
He can't do it, though.
I don't think he can this time. No, there goes the inhibitor. Can he hold him out for 30 seconds? I doubt it, man. They can just ignore him. All those minions, and that is it. Marin gets taken down. The GA is not going to make a difference. First inhibitor turret, first Nexus turret down. Marin down, second Nexus turret, and CJ Entus has found a way to finally topple the Titan. SKT is defeated 2-1.